Hi folks, welcome back to the mini restoration. In the last episode you see me, I started straightening out the floor pan over that side and I had to stop because I just wasn't quite sure how the shape was in that. I have since ordered a floor pan, it arrived and it was crap, so I'm sending that back and I've ordered a proper one. It's actually pretty much the whole length. As much as I don't need the whole lot, I've ordered it so then I can, well, for this side, so then I can get the shapes right everywhere else. So I can't really crack on with the bottom half like I really wanted to. So in this episode we're going to crack on with the top here. You see it in the last episode, it's gone round here. There's a little bit here but I'm going to do that as a separate piece. What I need to do is make a template. It comes around here and gets all that template. So let's get the camera closer and we'll get started. Right, so like I just said, I want to come up here because there's a couple of pinholes here and then I'm going to come over here. Although this side looks good, I'm hoping to make the template work for both sides. So I'm going to bring it as far over as I can and then I want to sort of come between the two holes ideally. So, and then sort of bring it around the side as well. You probably can't see too much around the side. I've tried to frame it so you can see properly. When I've done, I'm off framing, but when I've done the suspension mounts, I didn't really show you much about making the patterns because it was a flat piece, but I wanted to show you a little bit more over here. So all I use is masking paper basically. I'm going to be running backwards and forwards to the bench a couple of times, but it's only going to be for sort of just cutting it and stuff like that. It's going to be nothing serious that I'm doing off camera. So to start off with, what I need to do is just stick it down really. And just use a couple of magnets. Get on that. This is actually a relatively easy panel to make because it is pretty much flat. That's a flat piece, that's a flat piece, that's a flat piece. So it should just all fold in other than a little bit of shrinkage here. You should just be able to see it, how that the paper's creasing up there. That's what the metal's going to want to do, so we're going to have to shrink that. Although saying that, it's got relief in it, so we won't have to do that at all. So yeah, now we just need to, I want to rough it out first actually. So to make this a little bit smaller, we don't need it up there, do we? So let's come over here. So all that. No. So that is my rough shape. All I'm going to do now, like I said, I'll go over to the bench, get that rough shape cut out, and then we'll get some proper shape into this. Now we've got it roughed out, now let's put some proper shape into it. So, key is to get it as tight as you possibly can where you need it. So, just using smaller magnets, get everything nice and tight. So this is where we need to start getting this sort of shaped properly. So I know I want it as a nice straight line across there. So what I'm going to do is Sorry, I need to, hopefully I'm not getting in frame too much. Hopefully you can hear me properly over the shutters rattling. Yeah, I think I need to come down there. So, I'm going to go get them bits cut out. So I want that as a nice straight line and I want that as a nice straight line. Got this one cut, got that cut. The reason I've done these as perfect straight lines is because when I come to transfer it over to metal, it's a lot easier to then like just use a ruler and then the pen rather than trying to sort of draw around this, because obviously this flaps around. So now I'm sort of shaping this bit. So I need to just cut out here, just so I can get it around. And then, just again with the pencil, just drawing that edge, keeping it nice and tight. Michelle, what are you doing? Michelle's just come through the door with like an absolute massive stack of wood. She's trying to be quiet and not knock the car, and she hasn't succeeded in any of it. I'm going to get that bit cut out. So the rest of this is now just sort of exactly what I've done. It's just a matter of just following the shape all the way around and then getting it to the right shape. So I'll get that to the right shape and then I'll come back when we start putting in the details. That's all done now. Didn't take too long at all. This bit round here was a little bit more complicated because of obviously it's got the curve in it. What I'll do is probably not on this, but at some point I'll do a dedicated video to making templates like this. So you can always go back. I'll try and find something quite complicated and then, you know, I'll do a dedicated video rather than trying to show you bits on this and that. So anyway, I need to now get in the fold lines. I'm not going to worry too much about this hole for the minute, although I might get that in. Yeah, let's get that in a little bit. So all I'm doing, as you can see, just using my finger. So I'll cut that out in a minute, but now we need to get the crease in. So all I'm going to do is just use my pencil and just follow the line, basically. Nothing too complicated at all. Just make sure everything stays nice and tight. That's that one. That one. There's that one. Simple as that. Let's go over to the bench and make some panels. I really hope you can hear me properly as the wind's picked up. Although it's now just dropped off randomly. So. Been waiting for like 5 minutes for it to just die down and then all of a sudden, well, never mind, it doesn't matter. Right, so I've got my template, got my metal. First thing I want to do is actually clean my metal up. So I've just got some brake cleaner. I'm going to give that a quick spray down, nothing special. Just quick wipe down. It's mostly for dust and any oil that's on it, it just saves your pens. So yeah, it's just basically a matter of working out the best place to put your pattern, your template, and sticking it down, like that. Just using the same magnets, stick it down. just using a pen, draw around it. Nothing complicated at all. Right. You're not going to be able to see it, I don't think. I think I'm in frame. Maybe. So yeah, just carefully drawing around the edge. Doesn't matter whether you go over a little bit, because everything can be sort of trimmed down. You just want to get that basic shape in. So I want to get the two of these done, and I'll be back in a second. Actually, no, but I need to cut these out as well with the noise and the grinding. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see much, so I apologise. I'm just going to cut it off here. I'm going to get these drawn out, get them cut out, and then we'll move on to the next step. As you can hear, the wind has got worse, so I have forged ahead a tiny little bit. So I've got the blanks made out for the panels, and then I've marked them out either side. Actually, no, I marked them out using this. So from this template, don't know whether to shout or what. Jesus Christ. So yeah, this is the original template. From that, I've made a cardboard template, and I basically just cut that exactly the same. I marked out the fold line and then put a crease so that can fold. And I put that on the car and then cut round that with a Stanley blade, so now I've got the perfect angle for that fold. Then from this template, I've marked out these lines, both sides, and then from that, I've just cut 2 blanks of wood so we can shape it in. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but there are a lot of channels out there that would have done this and then sort of cut that around there and then just welded that lip onto the edge. Don't ever do that. There is literally no need for it. Right? Bit of MDF. Right? MDF in itself is expensive, but you go on Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, there's probably American sites, Craigslist. Right? People throw this out. Once they've used it, there's offcuts. It's still good wood, and for doing this, it's literally perfect. Free wood. All you got to do is go pick it up. I've got piles of it and piles of it. I'll just keep looking every now and again, and I'll go pick up a load of crap. Purely and simply for this purpose. Worktops are a good one as well. But yeah, MDF, chipboard, anything. You don't really want pine or softwood because it will deform, but don't weld like around the edge. Make a couple of bucks. All I did was draw around that with that. Right, I mean look, that's not even a decent bit of card, that's like an old sort of takeaway box. Draw around that, cut it out with a jigsaw, marked it up, down, left, right, so I know which way he was doing what, that's it. Run over. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to have to move the camera, it's going to be a pain in the ass to show you, and then you're not going to be as close, so I'll explain what I'm doing now, and then I'll just do it. So, I've marked it both sides, because what I need to do is I need to line it up on the bottom. The way I've done these bucks is that it lines up in the corner there, stays flat across there, and then I want that line, don't know whether it's going to come, but hopefully it does, but yeah, I want that line crisp in there. So then what I can do is put that just shy of that line, sort of like that, clamp it down, and then we can beat it around. And then I've done these in such a way that that'll go like that, that'll go like that, sort of, and then sort of, no, like that, if that makes sense. So, right, I'm going to move some things around, get it set up, and then I'll just go for it. So focused on making sure you could hear me and see what I was doing, I actually almost forgot a step completely, which would have been disastrous. Well, I need to put in the fold marks that I was literally just telling you about. So, using the template, I need to... Where have they gone? I did have some magnets. I'll go find them. Hold on. The professionalism in this video is awesome, isn't it? Yeah. Like I was saying, while I was hunting, well, before I had to hunt for my magnets, I need to get these lines in. So, line this back up, You watch, I'm saying about like professionalism, I'll get my noggin right in the way of the lens, so you won't actually see any of it anyway. I mean, my luck, wasn't it? So, yeah, just a matter of lining this up, getting it pretty damn bang on at this point. I actually had my headphones in while I was cutting all the wood and that out. As you can imagine, it was loud. Right, so now we've got that lined up. I know these lines are straight, so I don't have to go too mad. Right, if it was a curved line, you'd sort of do the full curve. But on this, it's using a very, very sharp dot punch, right, and then sort of back end of a hammer. Literally, just like that, straight through the paper, straight onto the metal. You don't want to dink or dent the metal, you want to mark it. Just enough. Like I say, these are straight lines, so all I've done is the points and then I can draw a line across it. So I'm going to get them done and then we'll go back to getting it all clamped up, ready to sort of make this fold. This is a setup. There's nothing complicated about it at all. It's just a lump of wood clamped to my bench. The reason I've done that is because then I've got this extension, so then I can get clamps all around this piece. So the main clamps that I want is right on this edge where I'm going to sort of shape it, but then I'll need clamps on the back. So normally I'd actually use a bit of box section, a bit of steel, but the bit of box that I had I ended up cutting up and using for something else. So a bit of wood works perfectly. I'm not sure how well it comes up because I've only got a tiny little screen to see through, but you can see where it's roughly lined up at the top. The top piece is just clamping. Like the bottom piece is where it's lined up, and I've got that lined up exactly perfectly. I'm moving my hands around, I don't even know. Pointless. It's lined up at the bottom. So what I need to do now is basically hit it down. The first piece that I'm doing doesn't really matter which way I'm doing it. The second piece, however, obviously it needs to be the reverse. So what I have done is on both of them I've gone through and I've just put a little X, so I know that that needs to be up on both of them, and then they're going to be opposites. So I'm going to be using a dead blow hammer to knock it down, but you can use anything really, as long as you take your time and be steady and careful. You know, that is the key. Just take it slow. I'm using a dead blow hammer because I've got it. It just moves the metal a lot faster, you know, but you don't have to go out and buy one. You can quite easily use a standard panel beating hammer. Yes, this one's a snap-on one, but you can use a standard one. So I'll start knocking it down. There is no technique to it other than just be slow and methodical. So just go in little steps and don't hit it too hard. You want to hit down, not across. And then just slowly adjust your angle as the metal moves around. You see how little I'm moving that? That is literally what you want. If you go any further, you can end up creasing it. And the fact that on this piece of metal, if you was doing an inside curve, like where you're stretching it, you can get away with going a little bit further because you're stretching it. If you're doing an outside curve like this, right, it needs to shrink in, so you end up with like tucks and stuff. So yeah, take your time. That's it, as simple as that. I may want a little bit of tweaking when it's on the car, but we can deal with that. That's how you get a curve in a panel. I want to get the other one done, and then we'll go through working out the rest of the panel making. New day and a lot less windy, so I apologise for that. I'm really not looking forward to editing that at all. I've just literally played back the footage on the camera. Oh, it sounds horrendous. So anyway, normally what I'd do, sort of after sort of doing that, I was like, I'll show you one, and then I'll just make the other one. But because it was so bad last night, I've already gone through and made it. In actual fact, I made two, and full disclosure, I did actually cock up. So it's here. This is where I've put this fold in. So if you look here, this is a lot flatter than that. It's just not, hasn't got nowhere near the curve on it as it's supposed to have. And the reason for that is what happened is this metal is actually quite thick. It's 1.2mm thick. I mean, the car's only 0.8, but this is what I've got, and plus it'll be a lot stronger. And then with the galvanisation as well, it shouldn't ever rot there again, which is quite a common problem on them. But what happened is, because, hold on, let's get a box. Where I'd knocked it down to get this rolling, what happened, because it needs shrinking, it actually put a bow in it like that. I mean, I've got the shrinker stretcher, which I've done to sort of straighten it out, but I was trying to do it so if like you're doing it at home, you can sort of do it yourself. I mean, if you use the 0.8 that you're supposed to use, this would be fine. I've done it before. I've done it a lot tighter than this and never had any issues, but it was only with this. And what I did is I actually heated the metal up. As you can see, the wood's sort of black there where I used the blowtorch. And what it done is it made the MDF soft, and then it's just squashed it and rolled it. And then that's why that is now not as curved as it's supposed to be. So I put the fold in it to actually check it on the car, and that was before I'd done that one. So obviously that's now. So yeah, I just redid it. That's fully done now. We're ready to sort of mark that out and get that cut out on the car. And then I've just gone through, remade that one. So now we get the folds in, and I'll show you how to do that. It's not really complicated, it's just fold it basically, but I'll show you anyway. So this is a setup, just using my vise, a couple of pieces of angle. The reason I'm using a couple of pieces of angle is because I can't get it low enough in my vise. So using the angle so I can just have it hanging off the side a little bit, and I can drop it down there. You watch, I'm going to be out of frame now. I'm doing it the wrong side. I'll go in front. So just going to line it up. One bit. Yeah. I just hit it, basically. So, just going to run over to the car and check that. It's a tiny bit more. Check it again. Pretty happy with that, so let's put the other fold in. So this one does fit in the drawers. Now with this one, I will need it sharper this end than that end, so working about that. Check that again. There you go, all done. Quite happy with that. It's going to want some final fettling when we come to welding it, but for now we've got the rough shape, and yeah, I'm happy. So that's them two done. Right, move on to the next step. Now we need to work out where we can cut this. I have gone through and I've made a quick template of this. Just a quick cardboard template. Just where the holes are. I haven't cut these holes out yet. I'll do that. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'll just do it on the draw on the metal. So yeah, we can get that in. Because I don't want to cut this bit out now, just in case I get it in the slightly wrong place. Because the problem is, there's so much shape going on here. It's virtually impossible to get that where it's supposed to be. So it's going to be the same problem with actually sort of getting this cut out. So the first thing I want to do is just take a little bit of this lip off, so then we can get this back and get it where it's supposed to be. I've got the camera and the lights where I can work, and hopefully you can see, but there is definitely a chance you're going to be seeing the back of my head. So I apologise in advance. So yeah, first thing, like I said, I'm just going to cut that lip off. So I'm going to get that where it's supposed to be, like that. And cut it off. There's nothing special in this. Well, I say nothing special. This bit here is double skin, but then it's got this lip that comes out. So I've got to be careful not to cut through both skins of that, but then pretty much just chop the bottom off, and then that should come out. And clean this top row up. I'm going to put my mask. Oh. I keep forgetting I need to take pictures of every step of this. I'm going to get that bit cleaned up, but I need to move everything out of the way. So, I'll be back in a second. That didn't take too long at all, and then it just stops me fighting that little bit there. As you can see, I've now just clamped it up, and that's just again to make my life easier. Instead of trying to hold it and fight with it, I've clamped it, made sure everything's in the right place now. So now what we've got to do is just draw around it. Nice and simple. not complicated really. There is going to be a couple of bits complicated on this. Probably doesn't come up on camera too well. There's a couple of spots here. That's actually where it's MIG welded onto the inside frame, and then we've obviously got a couple of spot welds on this double skin here. So I'm going to carefully get this chopped out and dissected. Yeah, I'll probably take it out in a couple of little pieces. I won't make you watch it all. I'm literally just cutting this out. Anything complicated I'll show you. So that I'll just cut around that, I think. For now I'm going to clean that up. Yeah, cut around them. Right, let's get to it. Just going to use one of these little cut-off wheels on the airline. I could use the normal grinder, but I think I'm just going to have a little bit more control with this, and especially around this little bit here. I don't want to be cutting into this extra skin because that's like the main support. That's the main sort of A-pillar really. Right, I've got to spend a while just grinding this bit back. It's going to take a little while, so I'll get that done, and then I'll come back to you once it's all cleaned up. I'm pretty certain, pretty close to it now. Yeah, we just want some sort of fettling and some tweaking, which will get done as well. So yeah, when we come back, this will be ready to weld in. There's nothing really complicated in what I'm doing. It'll be like where I've sort of trimmed it back, just a little fettling here, fettling there. Once I've got that back, I'll know exactly where that needs to be to get this in perfect. Then I might have to adjust that line there. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of a little bit of tweakage here and there, just running backwards and forwards. If there's anything untowards that I think would be noteworthy, yeah, I'll come back before we are pretty much there. Right, we get it done. There's my button. Everything's clean, fitting nice. I've sprayed everything with some weld through primer, some decent stuff this time, not that crap I was using before. So now it's just a matter of getting everything clamped up. First thing I need to do though is just address this cable, because it's right on this edge here, touching the weld. So I need to try and, there we go. I've held it there, but it's out of the way now. These are squeaky cables. I discovered a very, very long time ago it is actually quicker to just cut the cables and then resolder them than it is to try and feed it through the bloody roof. So. Shiny new tape. Oh, there it is. I put the mark there to say, look, it's not even a frame. They've put the mark there to say that's where the end of the tape is, but it's not, it's there. What's wrong with these people? Times like this would be advantageous if I didn't bite my nails. Oh, come on. Slot that down there, wrap that around there. Spot on. Ugh. Right, let's get this clamped up. Oh, forgot to say, the other thing that I did, hopefully, yeah, is I've pilot drilled the hole for the door. I'll drill that through afterwards because it's already there. And then I've drilled out 2 plug holes as well, cleaned up all the edges, ready for welding. That's about all I've done. Alright, let's get this clamped up. The joy of this is there is access to both sides. Just a matter of working out the best way of doing things. So it's reasonable access. I'm sorry if you can just see the back of my head. It's not really much I can do about it. I need to see what I'm doing. Slowly. Right. Tappity tappity tap tap. just double checking everything because there's a lot going on. I just want to make sure it is in the right place. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. That bit has to be pretty good because of the A panel and the door and stuff. This bit not so much, it's not really seen. That there is getting cut out. So it's not the end of the world if I don't get it right, but getting it as good as we can is definitely advantageous. We're ready to give this a couple of tacks. Now, the gap here is a little bit bigger than I'd like, but it's not the end of the world, we can work it. And yeah, I've got good access all around, so I'm quite happy with that for now. Right, oh, I need to check, make sure I can. Oh yeah, good. Welding! Oh, picture first. Now it's just a matter of cleaning the welds back. What's going on here? Not really sure where you was at. My memory card filled up on the camera, so I do apologise if you didn't see this. Hopefully you did, but it's all ground back now. Yeah, I haven't gone too mad with it. Again, it's all going to be hidden up inside the inner wing. There's pipes and everything else. In the time we've put some protection on this, everything will be done. It's not like body work. You know, I've just literally just cleaned it up. So now we need to get this hole cut in. So this is where this little template comes in. So hopefully you can see. I've drawn the 4 bolt holes out, and then we've got the circle. So all I'm going to do is, I'm going to be in your way unfortunately, but I'm going to line that up from the inside, get that sort of set up, and then draw around it this side, basically. So right. Sorry. Just holding that in. I'll draw around it. Oh, why will I put up the pen? It's crap. Oh, you fool. That's right. Right. No, choppy. Where's me wrap? So I'm gonna be using this little bad boy. This is basically an air-powered Dremel. When it goes, it sounds like a dentist tool, but with this fine slitting disc, I should be able to get most of the way around that, and then just clean it up. So now just going to use die grinder, get it a little bit closer, and then I'll file it at the right at the end. So now just using a half round file, just go around it. Sorted. As easy as that. So, yeah, I think we're about done. I'm going to leave this hole for now, purely and simply because the originals had captivated nuts, but one of the bolts on each broke, so I've cut them off and then I'm going to put the rivet nuts on. I haven't actually got the rivet nuts here, so I don't know what size to drill the holes out. So I've got the template and I can easily just line it up later, so I'm going to leave that for now. Normally, like I did with this, I'd give it a quick coat of primer just to protect it, but I'm going to be doing that bit next, so it's pointless sort of priming that and then having to clean it up. I might as well do that, then give it a quick coat of primer to protect it, plus drill the hole out as well. So yeah, we're pretty much done. I'm actually really happy with the way this has come out. Although it looks quite simple with just the straight lines like here and here, they have to be absolutely perfect on this panel just because of the way it sits, and I think I've got it pretty much bang on. There's a little bit of adjustment to do up here, but I'm not worried about that at the minute. I'll address that when I put the wings on and the A panels, and I've got new door skins as well. I'll go through everything all in one go and then adjust everything. So I'm not too worried about that at the minute. That's come out a lot easier than I expected. I was quite worried because that's a tight hole. I was quite worried about trying to get around there, but you just see that just went around quite easily, straight through the file. It's a little bit sharp, needs cleaning up later. You might want a bit of adjustment, but I'll do that with sort of final fettling before anything sort of goes to paint. Like all of the trim pieces, like especially like with the doors and all the little bits and bobs, will be trial fitted to make sure everything's spot on, because you don't want to be adjusting anything after it's painted. I still need to clean up a little bit in there, inside, and yeah, I need to do that. I probably won't film doing these because they are just a tiny little patch. It's got a slight curve in it. I'll just use my shrinker stretcher, I'll create an angle, shrink stretcher, and then just cut it out and then butt weld it the same. And then it's obviously pointless showing you the other side. It's going to be exactly the same as this side. Yeah, they're exactly the same panels. It's not anything different. So yeah, it's pointless you watching the same sort of stuff over and over again. But I'll get it done, and then I'll sort of give you I'll show the same as I did like with this side. Like with this patch here, I'll show you for the next video. Hopefully by the time I start the next video, the floor pan should have arrived. I got an email earlier saying that it's on its way. It should be here this week, hopefully, but I don't know. Hopefully that'll turn up, so then we can straighten this out properly. Once we've straightened this out properly, we can make the templates and crack on with the bottom end. So yeah, I'm sort of rambling at the minute. I don't know why. This video is long enough. I know it's going to be long enough because the other memory card filled up. What is the correct terminology? It says full up, but I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm rambling. It's cold. It is really cold. I don't know if you can see my breath. And I have a heater on the floor. Yeah, so that's it. We're done for today. Well, I'm going to start on that, but we're done for this video. Please have a look in the description box below. Check out my friends' channels. Please check out my merchandise store. Support me where you can. If you have a look over here, you'll see the bubble. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell so you get informed of all of the videos as and when I put them up. And then if you have a look over here, there should be 2 tabs. There's some of my other videos that I do, because I'm not only working on the Mini, I've got an RS Turbo, plus I do weekly updates and then just random grab as well. So yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.